recording. So, plot or slideshow, monitor. Okay. Graph 5 points using y is equal to 2x plus 2. Do that right quick. And then we're going to change it.
Make it bigger.
There we go. Sorry.
You're not saying that's where it's over there. You said you're not saying that's where it's over there.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, I'm just joking.
Some paper. Thank you.
Quit doing that. It's going to make me tired.
Y'all?
Yeah.
I slept on. Oh, hey.
What you do?
I feel awful. I sleep like more than like 8 hours. I sleep past night.
When'd you go to bed? Went to bed at like 12.
Not me.
That's every day though.
Then I figured out why. So,
Y'all done?
Honestly,
or
I
y'all
don't
just
remember.
talking when you're supposed to be working?
Honestly, I don't remember how to do this.
Okay, okay,
Gonna wait for you to go over it.
okay. Just wanted to know.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to pick 5 points. It's already solved for y, so I'm going to pick 5 points. Always pick 90% of the time. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2.
Okay, I remember that.
2 parentheses plus 2. 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 Now remember, I'm not teaching the person that invented this. I'm teaching the person that don't know how to do it. So that's why I'm writing everything out.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to plug and chug. That one, -2. That one, -1. That one, 0. 1 and 2. -4 plus 2 is -2. -2 plus 2 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. And you start to see a pattern. You're adding 2. So what is this one going to be? 4, and this one's going to be what?
6.
You predicted those because you see the pattern.
Correct.
Now you plot it. I don't know why this thing goes to defaults to red. Nobody writes in red. And you plot -2, -2. 1, -1, 0. 0, +2. 1 and 4. And 2 and 6. And basically, my line's not straight, but you can connect the dots. That's why it's kind of nice to have some graph paper in your notes at this time,
Right.
so you can actually graph the points.
I've got a
Okay,
question.
now that is how you would do a regular, no fractions whatsoever. Okay? Now, I want you to turn to your next page in your notes, turn it landscape side, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do on it. So I'm going to take my handy dandy, I'm going to get out of this. Go to my whiteboard. I want you to divide it into 10 or 12 boxes. Now, 10% of the time, I told you were going to use multiples of the what? Denominator. Y is equal to x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/3 x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/4 x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/5 x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/6 x plus blank. Y is equal to Y is equal to 1/7 x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/8 x plus blank. Y is equal to 1/9 x plus blank. So if I'm given a fraction in a problem, that's the 10% of the time I told you that I wasn't going to use -2. I'm going to use multiples of the what? Denominator. So this one would be -4, -2, 0, 2, 4. What would this one be? -6, -3, 0, 3, 6. What would this one be? -8, -4, 0, 4, and 8. What would this one be? -10, -5, 0, 10, I'm sorry, 0, 5, and 10. What would this one be? -12, -6, 0, 6, and 12. Y'all should be grabbing onto the pattern by now.
Can I take a picture?
What?
Can I take a picture?
No. Can't see through muddy water.
Someone let Oconee in.
What?
Oconee's calling. They must have like died or something.
Oh, Lord. This would be a whole lot better if I had posters. Bring them back in. Y'all finish it out. Get Miss Simmons to go over it after we get it finished.
I'm about to do.
What?
I feel more ease if I can take a picture because then I can copy my notes from the picture.
You ain't gonna copy it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's okay.
Let's see if I got theirs. They are.
I don't know what happened.
Y'all just turned me off. That's what it was. You didn't want to listen to me. That's
We
fine.
didn't even touch it. You were just writing your boxes and
Miss
and it
Simmons.
went blank.
Miss Simmons could do
Miss
that.
Simmons,
She don't
Miss
sit up
Simmons, Miss
front.
Simmons.
She could cut
name
me
is
off,
Simmons.
but she don't sit up front.
Wear my name out.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
guessing we gotta write this down now.
Just don't hear.
Mr. King, do you hear something? Is there a mouse up there?
Why did the numbers change? Don't pull Mr. King in there.
Multiples of 2, multiples of 3, multiples of 4.
Mr. King is the instigator.
5. I don't understand the 1. That's 1/7. Just kidding.
All right, what's 1/8 going to be?
It's gonna be
-16, -8, 0, 8.
Oh, I see the pattern now.
All right.
Oh.
I don't even know what happened.
-18, -9, 0, 9, and 18. What's this one going to be?
-100.
Good.
Negative
-20. But that's okay. -10,
I know.
0. You're getting there. 10 and 20. What's this one?
Take a picture of it and write it later.
22.
Negative 22. Good.
Hey.
He's like, I'm gonna take a picture.
No, because you
Miss Simmons
asked.
took a picture, but she ain't gonna use it.
She's like, can I?
Okay. Yes, I do.
You
And I
said
think
you
I
weren't
do
going to
fairly-
use it.
And I
You
think
said
my
you
lab
wasn't gonna
plus says
copy
I
it.
do fairly well in your class.
Can we move these little boxes of us so we can see like the other half of the screen?
Let me see what you got. Okay.
Cause like we can't see past the 12.
Look.
Yeah, just there's a little if you go to my picture and in the top right hand corner there's a little arrow. You gotta get it. You gotta put the mouse on it and click it. It'll do away with my picture.
Here. Okay, I see. Yeah. And click it. Okay.
And then you can bring it back somehow. I don't know. There's another little white arrow somewhere down there, and you'll have to find the little arrow, and it'll bring it back up.
Can we minimize them?
Let's see. I got it pierced.
Oh.
Really? Yeah.
Oh Lord, now she's done messed up.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Just leave it alone for right now. Okay, so what would 13 be?
I can drag it.
They didn't, when I got mine done, they didn't put enough
Negative 26,
in between where it.
There we go.
negative 13, 0, 13, 26. Now, do you see the pattern?
Yep.
All right, now, finish copying this, or we'll take a picture or whatever, and we're going to do a problem on the next whiteboard, and you should be able to do it without any problem, and you're going to say to yourself, wow, that's amazing, I can do fractions.
Or we're gonna cry.
Or you're going to quit
No, not
Live down by the river.
cry. There's a difference.
and live down by the river in a van.
That doesn't sound that bad though.
Oh, I hate that.
It's pretty depressing.
I was down.
No neighbors
Okay.
to bother you.
Here we go.
Oh.
Y is equal to 1/3 x minus 2. All right, graph that one. I'll even start you off. I'll give you your x and y right there. All right, pick your 5 points.
What was it? -2?
Yeah.
So.
What?
I'm confused.
A dog?
Yes, we found her on the side of the road.
What kind of dog?
Golden retriever.
0.
My mama won't let me have any more dogs.
Like from here.
The char that had a third.
From here, you do the same thing as we did up here. What's the number in the very beginning though?
Nobody would take him out, so he got up and he peed on her blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she's a little mad
I know
about
that,
it.
but like, you see how we did this?
Yeah.
That 2 come from in that situation? Where would that be in that?
So,
See that? Very top. Where did that 2 come from that you're putting?
-6, -3, 0, 3, and 6. Yes.
This.
Good job.
3,
So you were the one that was listening.
-3.
-6, -3, 0, 3, and 6. So that means I got to rewrite 1/3. What I tell y'all to do, always make it a fraction.
So 2 minus 2.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Are
Okay.
you not?
1/3 times -3 over 1 minus 2. 1/3 times 0 minus 2.
Dave would probably say.
1/3 times
It's
3
actually-
over 1
Easier.
minus 2.
That's easy.
1/3 times 6 over 1.
You're like one off. Probably 1 point over here.
What y'all talking about?
She's complaining.
Ask to include yourself.
Why are you complaining?
So, -2,
Oh, here's something.
-4.
So what's -6 divided by 3?
Why are we dividing?
-2.
Plus a -2
cancel those out. You gotta.
Negative 4. What's negative 3 divided by 3?
1.
Negative 1 minus 2. 0 minus 2.
I'll have to get here.
And then look at the pattern. Negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and 0. Let's check the last one. What's 6 divided by 3?
Bless you.
2.
2 minus 2 is 0. See how easy that is?
C.
If you know how to do fractions.
C.
Remember what I told you. People can't do algebra because they can't do what? Fractions. Negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 3. Negative 3. 0. Negative 2. I'll say mine's going to be off because I'm not using graph paper. 3. 1. 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's not right. 6 is 0. All right. Something's wrong.
Figure it out.
Something's wrong because I got a point off. I don't know what's wrong.
You got what?
That's my line. Something. What do we got wrong? What's wrong? Oh, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Why am I not lining up? Something's not right.
It's supposed to be 6 and a positive number at the end, right?
2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 2 is negative 2. Or negative 1 minus 2 is negative 1. There it is. Why not? Yeah. This right here, 3 and negative 1. There it is. I got a plot wrong right there. But see, I don't have graph paper, so when I don't have graph paper, it doesn't line up quite right. So 3 and negative 1 is right there. And so you see I got a loop in mine, but it looks like that. They should line up if you have graph paper. But see, when you go back to the whole purpose for me doing this is whenever you have a fraction, you pick multiples of the what? Multiples of the denominator. So write that down. Because if you don't use multiples of the denominator, you're going to be in trouble.
I'm guessing it'll get a lot more complicated later.
No, that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
If you have a fraction in the m spot, okay, and we'll get to that later. If you have a fraction in that spot, you use multiples of the denominator.
Is this the Y-Intercept? Yeah, Y-Intercept.
We're gonna get to that later, okay? We're gonna get to the Y-Intercept after this, okay? You have a fraction. So what have I got? What if I give you this? And you don't have to graph it. Just give me the 5 points with y is equal to negative 2 over 7x plus 1.
Negative 4.
Okay, do it. I want you to actually do the calculations. Be negative 14, negative 7, 0, 7, and 14. Do that one, and I'm going to give you another one. Y is equal to 2/5 x plus 3. Negative 10, negative 5, 0, 5, and 10. negative 2/7 parentheses plus 1, negative 2/7 parentheses plus 1, negative 2/7 parentheses plus 1, negative 2/7 parentheses plus 1. And I'm not going to do the middle one right here for 0, because 0 plus 1 is what? 1. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to put a negative 14 over 1 here, negative 7 over 1 here, 7 over 1 here, and 14 over 1 here. And over here, 2/5 parentheses plus 3, 2/5 parentheses plus 3. What's 0 plus 3? 3. And 2/5 parentheses plus 3, and 2/5 parentheses plus 3. And looking at a negative 10 over 1, a negative 5 over 1, 5 over 1, and 10 over 1. And what happens to the 7 and the 14? What's negative 2 times negative 2? 4 plus 1 is?
5.
The 7's cancel. What's negative 2 times negative 1?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 plus 1?
Negative 1.
0 plus 1? Wait a minute.
What?
We skip that one.
Let me
See.
check something right quick. Negative 14. That should be 2. Oh, this is positive 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2.
2.
There we go.
My bad. That was my fault.
Okay. And 7's cancel. What's negative 2 plus 1? Negative 1. And then what is 14 divided by, that'd be a 2. What's negative 4 plus 1?
3.
Negative 4 plus 1
3.
is negative 5. I mean negative
What?
3. Thank you. Now you can always check it by graphing it and see what it looks like. Over here, what's 10 divided by 5? 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. 5's cancel. What's negative 2 plus 3? 1. 5's cancel. What's 2 plus 3? And what's 4 plus 3? So negative 14, negative 14 and positive 5, negative 7 and 2, 0 and 1, 7 and negative 1, and 14, negative 3. Does everything line up? Well, we don't get into that in here. Negative 10, but this is the one you use for nonlinear. Negative 10, negative 1. Negative 5, positive 1. 0, 3. 5 and 5. And 10 and 7. Now, Miss Latimer asked a very good question. She said, that's linear. What about nonlinear? Well, method 1 is what you use for nonlinear. That's another reason you do 5 points, because you have to do 5 points for nonlinear. What do I mean nonlinear? Well, I'll give you one example, and I'm just as for your information, so put it in your notes for your information. It's not for a test. If I gave you f of x or y is equal to x squared. Then you would go over here and you pick 5 points. It's not a fraction. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. What's -2 squared? 4. What's -1 squared? 0 squared. 1 squared. 2 squared. Plot those points. 0, 0, -1, +1, +1, +1, -2, +4, 2, 4, and now you have a nonlinear, which means a non-straight line or a what? Curve.
Curvature.
So that's why you need to know how to do this method, because the other two methods I'm going to show you will not help with a nonlinear. This is the only method that you can use for a nonlinear. Comprende?
See.
Okay, the second method of graphing. The second method of graphing is called Intercept Method. Method 2 is called the Intercept Method. And the Intercept Method is what they will say, graph using the x and y intercepts. That's what the directions will say. Graph using the x and y intercepts. When do you use this method? You use it when y is not by itself. For example, I'm going to just put an example in blue. 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. And that's what they give you. Or they give you 2x is equal to -y plus 6. Basically, y is not what? By itself. So first thing you do is you draw a table. So I'm going to do this in black. Number 1, draw a table. And you draw it just like I do. I'll draw it out like this. Like that. And on this side, I'm going to put the x-intercept. 0 is y. The y-intercept. 0 is x. Is it always that? Yes. That's one thing you got to learn with the y-intercept. Y-intercept, 0 is x. X-intercept, 0 is what? Y. Is that true in marketing? Yes. Is it true in business? Yes. Is it true in chemistry? Yes. Is it true in physics? Yes. True in math? Yes. Is it true in economics? Yes. Whenever you want to find the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for what? X. Whenever you want to find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for what? Y. So that's what you got to learn with this method, is what I just highlighted. The second step. Put the equation in, line up equation. Now I'm going to put them on here. I want you to tell me what I did, okay? I'm going to put them in here, and I want you to tell me what I did. What did I do as far as lining up? What did I do?
You put the X where it's just going to Y.
Exactly. All you got to do now is just draw an arrow right there. And an arrow right there. Because I'm going to plug in that 0 for what? Y. And I'm going to plug in that 0 for what?
X.
And what will that do to the Y and the X terms?
It would make them 0.
It'll eliminate them, make them 0. Yes, so you can just mark that one out and mark that one out. And third step is solve. So 2x is equal to 6, x is equal to 3. That 3 right there. 3y is equal to 6, y is equal to 2. And now you plot your points. Now, the reason I put the word right here, I want you to take a highlighter out, because this is the number one things that students do. They won't put this because of course, they're smarter than I am. They won't put the word right here. Do you think there's a reason I put that word there? Does anybody have any idea what the reason is?
Just that's how you solve for the x-intercept. That's how you solve.
Well, that helps, but why do I put the word on top of it, Mrs. Latimer?
So you won't confuse
So I won't plot the wrong point. Put this on the y-axis and put this one on the x-axis. That is the number one thing that students do. And every single time I look and see, they have not put the word on top of the coordinates. Because why? They are smarter than I am, but they get the problem wrong. So what does that mean? It means put the word on top. You know the x-intercept goes on the x-axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
The x-intercept goes on the x-axis. The y-intercept goes on the what?
What?
Wax.
So don't break that anvil. All right, we're going to do another one right after this one, so go ahead and make sure you got all that in your notes. Miss Simmons still there? I want to make sure you're still there, Miss Simmons.
I'm here.
Mr. King, settle down, please. Next question. Mr. King, do you talk at home or are you just this quiet at home? Yeah, that's what I thought. Mr. King, just don't talk. You don't have a voice box.
Leave people alone.
Excuse me, there's that mouse again. Did you hear that, Mr. King? Did you step on a mouse?
Each.
Here we go. Negative 2x plus 4y is equal to 8. Miss Simmons, you need to lay off them Marlboro Reds, chick.
I didn't even cough.
Who was that coughing?
It was me.
Okay, well, you need to lay off them Marlboro Reds. Them things will kill you.
And first of all, it's Camel Crush, but mind your business. No, I'm just kidding.
Brush.
I'm just joking.
He didn't find it funny.
Huh?
All right, do that one.
Oh, we did.
You've got a problem to go by now. I just gave you a problem to work with.
I don't want to do the same.
Just don't even try it, Miss Simmons. Just sit there.
First of all, I was just analyzing the problem. Now
You're analyzing. Okay.
Oh crap. X, Y. Should I just run across
I
all?
forgot to take a whole exam last.
I just want to go watch Twilight.
What?
I forgot to take a whole exam last.
I'm sorry.
It's crazy. I be forgetting about online class.
What class is it? Huh?
Midterm.
No, what class? What course?
Midterm. Medical.
Oh, I thought you said midterm.
Oh,
Medical terminology?
Yeah, we have midterms.
Do we have a midterm in here?
X-intercept, 0 for Y.
Alright,
Y-intercept, 0 for X. I don't know. Maybe they might be listed on My Labs Plus, with all the tests that we have to take.
Why does he have to be like that?
Damn. Because it's common knowledge, actually. I mean, I'm not
I mean,
gonna
but
lie.
she was just asking a question.
Yeah,
Considering he's the instructor, I mean,
Okay, do I give y'all an outline?
yes.
yes, but like, what does it hurt if you do?
Where's
I mean, that's
everybody's
fine if you
outline? Do you have your outline, Miss Simmons?
Don't talk to me.
hold on. I got it.
Because that outline may have the test on it, like Unit 1 test, Unit 2 test.
I didn't even
Unit 3
ask the
test.
question. I'm just.
Does it have a
defending my
midterm
fellow-
on it? Miss Simmons, does that outline have a midterm on it?
I didn't even
No,
ask
they
the
don't.
question, sir. I was
I'm
just
asking
defending my
you to
classmate.
participate in the discussion, Miss Simmons. No, we do not have a midterm. That's extra paperwork.
Paperwork.
Whoever asked it. Problem is, I can't see who's asking the question when my back's turned, so I'm sorry.
It was me. It was Maddie. No, I asked it.
Is Redneck Girl? Redneck
Yeah.
Girl, lots of name on the back of her belt. All right, so negative 2x plus 4y is equal to 8.
Is this just like a
Negative 2x plus 4y is equal to 8. Draw your little arrow down there. Draw your little arrow down there. And of course, the x term goes out. Do we have to be careful on this one? Yes. Why do we have to be careful? Because out front here is our old friend, the negative.
Oh crap! It was -4.
Negative 2x is equal to 8. X is equal to what for?
Negative.
Number two mistake. Because number one mistake is students not putting the word there and putting the wrong thing. Okay? 4y is equal to 8. Y is equal to what? 2?
Yep.
All right, plot that one. Y'all ever heard that song before by the Bellamy Brothers?
Yes.
Dang old redneck girl.
Conversation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mr. McClure, can I enter the conversation?
I don't know who Mr. McClure is. I go by Hubert. Miss Simmons, go right ahead. Interject into the conversation, whatever you feel
I had
like.
already interjected, and then, Miles, that's your name, right?
Did you find that midterm in that outline yet?
I'm tired.
I'm Hubert. Nice to meet you.
He gets on my nerves.
I thought you hated me.
I don't hate you. I don't hate nobody. I'm a Christian. I'm a God-fearing woman. I don't hate nobody. Anybody.
Negative 4, 0, right there. 0, 2, right there.
Damn, I did that wrong.
Why'd you do it wrong?
Because I'm a disappointment and I need to go by the lake or the river and live in a van.
Make sure the van can't run.
It's probably a communist van, too.
Yeah. No, socialist. Everybody wants
No.
stuff for free.
That's right.
All right, you get off of Bernie.
Bernie's the man. He's going to give everybody what they want.
Do you know who Candace Owens is?
Oh, yes, I love her. I love
her
Candace. I want to
too.
marry Candace Owens.
I want to marry her too.
I mean, she is great. And I bet you half the people in here don't even know who she is.
Yeah.
Oh, she
She
has
does.
been subdued.
The black lady.
Black conservative?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her.
Also, I'm also in love with Ben Shapiro.
Yep. Oh,
I
God.
love
He will annihilate any liberal. And
Yeah,
based on facts. I mean, and he talks so
He's
fast.
very respectful too.
Oh
with
yeah.
his-
Have you ever seen the movie Social Network?
Yes.
You know how Mark Zuckerberg in that movie talks everybody down because he's so much,
More intelligent.
so much smarter than they are? That's what Ben
Yep.
Shapiro does to people. Oh gosh, he
I
just
love
walks them
Ben Shapiro.
down, and they're just like, blah, blah, blah.
He's the love of my life.
I love him. I love him and Candace Owens. All right, let's move along. Method 3.
4 minutes.
Let's keep up with the time. What time is it, Miss Latimer?
You got about 4 minutes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and put the last one. Method 3. Method 3 is what we call building a line. Method 3 is what we call building a line. And that is graphing using the slope and Y-intercept.
Really dark camera.
Now this one is the one that y'all know the best because there's no math involved, so that's what K through 12 teachers teach because there's no math involved. Therefore you get it right on SAT or ACT and everybody's happy. Again, no critical thinking is needed. So, what do? You use it when y is by itself. Now, I tell students it's best to use, even though I showed you how to do method 1 with fractions, I tell students that this one is best used when m is a fraction. Now, you can use method 1 or method 2, but you have to follow the directions. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, if you don't do the correct method on the test, you can have the line correct, but it will mark it what? Wrong. Now, I want everybody to write that down in your notes. And I want you to highlight it because one of y'all, I have a feeling I know which one it's going to be. One of y'all is going to come to me and say, well, I got this one right. I had the same line. Yeah, but you didn't do the right method. I know exactly who it's going to be, too.
You talking about me?
I wish you'd just say it. That'd be a shady.
I just wanted to see who the big dog was.
Probably me.
I like how she said, probably me. All right, so what do you do first? First thing you do is you extract information. Extract info. What do you mean, Hubert? Well, let's give you an example. We'll put the example in blue. Y is equal to 2x plus 3. Now, there's 3 sources of information here. There's the aqua color. There is the blue color, the yellow, which is in front of there, which is the sign. And then there is the green, which is the Y-intercept. Okay, so that's what you have to pull out. First of all, A, what is the Y-intercept? 0, 3. How did I get that? Well, that's what's in the green. That's what's in that spot. So that comes from what's in that spot where the plus 3 is. Next thing, what is the direction of the slope? B. Direction of the slope is positive, so it's left to right, up. What tells me that? The yellow. Why does the yellow tell me it's left to right up? Because if there's nothing in front of a number, it's assumed to be what? Positive. And there's nothing in front of that 2 that's a sign, so it's assumed to be positive. If it was negative, it'd be left to right down. C. What is your vertical over your horizontal? Your vertical over your horizontal, if it's a whole number, is 2 over 1. Now, what if you had a fraction right there? Well, then you would write the fraction. But in this case, the 2 over 1 comes from this whole number right there. Next thing you do 2. Plot Y-intercept. 3. Draw a trace line, real light, left to right up. 4. Build with vertical over horizontal. So here we go. What's my Y-intercept? 0, 3. So I'm going to draw that in green. 1, 2, 3. There's my Y-intercept. Now I'm going to take a yellow line and just draw left to right. No. Left to right. Give me a second. Left to right. That's good enough. Okay, if you notice, it's going left to right up. Did I have to draw it through the line? No. Did I have to draw it? Sorry. Y'all supposed to get mad and go into cardiac arrest. Let me see where y'all melt into cardio infarction. What time is it? 1:16. Okay. Let me just do the last part. 2 over 1. So I take my blue marker and I go 2 up, 1, 2, 1 over. 2 up, 1 over. 2 down, 1 over. 2 down, 1 over. And there is my line. We'll do more of those. And y'all come in Wednesday, okay? Y'all have a wonderful day. Do you too, Miss Simmons?
I just think that was so funny.
What?
You being so happy and jolly.
Who's happy and jolly?